What if you could take all the guesswork out of real estate investing? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore today. We're about to deconstruct a business plan for an agency that aims to do just that, using AI to hunt down the most profitable Airbnb properties out there. Let's dive into the blueprint for this AI house hunter.
All right, so think about it for a second. When you're looking for an investment property, what's it really like? You know the drill, right? It's hours and hours of scrolling, a whole lot of guesswork, and honestly, a big dose of just gut feeling. But what if that entire process, the one we've all gotten used to, is just fundamentally broken? What if it's way overdue for a complete overhaul?
And that's really the core idea here, right? We're talking about a massive shift. Instead of that slow, manual research, you get an automated, data-scraping machine. Instead of relying on gut feelings and hunches, you're using predictive analytics. And all that really means is you're using mountains of past data to predict what's going to happen. It's not just an improvement, it's a total game changer.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the real estate guessing game. Then we'll introduce the AI house hunter itself. After that, we'll dive into its three-step process, see why this is a smarter way to invest, and finally, we'll cover the hurdles and what's on the horizon for this kind of tech.
All right, let's jump right into part one, the real estate guessing game. And this really gets to the core of the problem with how things have been done for so long.
I mean, for anyone who's ever tried this, these pain points are probably all too familiar. You're just endlessly sifting through thousands of listings, trying to guess what the rental income might actually be, and crossing your fingers that you've got the local demand and seasonality figured out. It's not just that it takes forever, it's that one little thing, one missed zoning law can completely sink your entire investment.
So if that's the problem, what's the solution? Well, that brings us neatly to section 2, introducing the AI house hunter. This is a whole new kind of agency, one built on data, not just gut feelings. And their mission statement really says it all, doesn't it? The goal here isn't just to find you a house. No, it's way bigger. It's about completely revolutionizing how we invest in real estate by making sure every single opportunity is backed by cold, hard data, specifically for profitable Airbnb ventures.
So what does this agency actually do for you? Well, it's basically a three-pronged service. First up, the AI does the heavy lifting, identifying those hidden gems with high potential. Then, the agency steps in to help you actually get through the whole buying process. And finally, they give you strategic advice on how to list, price, and manage it on Airbnb to squeeze out the best possible returns.
Okay, now for the really cool part, the mechanics of how it all works. This is section 3, the three-step AI process. I love this analogy. Think of it like a digital detective, relentlessly following the data trail to hunt down that perfect property.
And the process itself is beautifully simple. First, the AI does the identifying, crunching millions of data points to find the best opportunities. That's the machine's job. Then, the human experts step in to help you acquire the property, guiding you through negotiation and closing. And finally, once you have the keys, they help you optimize everything for success, from pricing to your listing strategy. It really connects all the dots, from the initial search all the way to profit.
And when we say data, we mean a ton of data. I mean, look at the AI's data diet here. It's constantly pulling information, or scraping it, from everywhere. Public listings on Zillow, rental data from Airbnb and Vrbo, even local government records for zoning and permits. It's looking at tourist attractions, local event calendars. It's building a complete picture of a property's potential in a way that, let's be honest, no human could ever do on their own.
And a really key part of that optimization step is something called dynamic pricing. This is so important. It's the exact opposite of a set-it-and-forget-it approach. The AI is constantly watching the market in real time, local events, what your competitors are doing, seasonal demand, and it suggests the perfect nightly rate to maximize your revenue, day in and day out.
Okay, so when you put all this together, it leads us to section 4, smarter, not harder investing. So what's the real, tangible advantage of having this kind of AI co-pilot on your team?
Well, this little showdown chart pretty much says it all, right? You look at speed, the AI is automated and super fast versus a slow manual agent. Look at the data depth, it's massive and predictive, not limited and historical. And maybe most importantly, risk mitigation is way higher because it's data-driven. The whole strategy is end-to-end from start to finish, not just focused on getting one transaction done. So what's the bottom line for an investor? What's the real value proposition here? It's efficiency, first of all. You're cutting down your search time dramatically. It's about making decisions based on data, which maximizes your ROI. You're reducing your risk because of all that analysis, and you get this perfect blend of AI insights plus human expertise. It's the best of both worlds.
Now, of course, it's not all sunshine and roses. This brings us to our final section, hurdles and future horizons. We have to look at the real-world challenges and the long-term vision for a business model like this.
And this part is absolutely critical. You can't just unleash an AI on the real estate market. There's a legal and ethical minefield to navigate. You've got data privacy laws like GDPR. You have to ensure the algorithm isn't biased in a way that violates fair housing laws. You even have to respect website terms so you don't get blocked. And maybe the most important rule of all, a licensed human broker has to be overseeing everything the AI does. That's non-negotiable.
So where does something like this go in the future? Well, the road ahead looks pretty ambitious. The business plan talks about expanding into full-service property management, moving into new cities and states, and even developing a subscription data dashboard, for investors who just want the raw insights for themselves. And of course, integrating with more platforms beyond just Airbnb.
When you look at the whole picture, it all comes back to that simple but really powerful tagline, invest smarter, not harder. That's the whole point. It's about letting technology do the impossible, heavy lifting part, so that investors can focus on what they do best, making smart, informed decisions.
And that really leaves us with one big question to think about. As this kind of technology gets better and more accessible, will an AI co-pilot like this stop being a novelty or a competitive edge and just become an essential, non-negotiable tool for every real estate investor out there? I have a feeling that future might be a lot closer than we think.